Hi everybody, normal intro. And I had a message off someone asking, is it possible to change the steam lead that goes up connecting to your iron? The answer to that is you can change anything you want if you've got the spare part. Now I don't know if you can get these on the internet. This is my spares iron. My missus has asked me to change the iron because I don't know if you can see there. This obviously was rubbing on her old ironing board, and you can see that it's chafed through the protective coating. So I've got the spare iron, which is chafed, but she's got a new ironing board now. And as someone asked me, I thought, right, we'll show you how to change it. Right, now I know I've gone through all this before, but this is for people who haven't seen them. This has got 4 Phillips screws. You can do with a normal screwdriver, 4 or 5. But what it has got, which is easier if you've got one of these massive big long Phillips screwdrivers, is to get to that one there. You can do it with a little stumpy screwdriver, but it's a lot easier with that big long one. And another question everyone asks is, what screwdriver do you use to get out? Hold on. These, see, it's got like a 3-way. Now you can probably buy that tip nowadays just to go in your multi screwdriver, but I just use a normal electric screwdriver. You can get it into one or two of the flats, get it turning, and it's the only place it's got the safety screws is in the back of the back plate here. But to change this lead, it's just a case of undoing the wires that we've got in there. And then, as you can see at the other end, you've got this pipe which fits onto your main. I'll show you the bit that's inside. This is the cylinder that's on the inside. And remember, if I remember rightly, I'll know when I take this one apart, is I think that bit fits on top of there with a flexi tube. So now what you must try and do if you've got one of these cameras, once you get the top off, take loads of pictures. So you can see on here, this flex has only actually got that lead there, it goes to that control board. So take a photo of that. This blue one going into that chocolate block, take a picture of that. And this, what's that, yellow and, you should say yellow and green I suppose, goes over and connects into here. But if you take a couple of photos of this and photos of the back plate, so you know exactly where they're going, because by the time you've taken all this apart, you've forgotten where it goes. So take pictures, especially the back of there. I've just undone those screws. Let me get the camera set up. It's one of those, I haven't done this for a while. One of those screws is still attached. There you go. So that is the inside of your iron. The bit we've had problems with, we had problems with that switch. You hear that clicking? If it stops clicking, the switch in the top of there is gone. We've had problems with, when you take this off, there's a little plunger, there's a rubber gasket just in there. That gets all calciumed up because it's hot water. It burns the calcium out, leaves it behind, and there's a little rubber membrane in there. You get that out, and there's a hole which goes up to here, which is sucking your water in on your descaler. That little hole gets blocked. The other problem is this red thing. If it stops steaming, this is the bit that's gone. Now, I managed to exchange the piece out of obviously my spares iron. I only found out these problems by swapping part over, putting it back together, which is easy for me to do because I've got a spare one. But if you've got one which is broken, don't chuck it away. Keep it for spares. So that I exchanged that in the mother-in-law's iron. Got it going again. So now it's just a maintenance issue because this is worn out. So for the guy that contacted me, if you can get this part, I don't know where you would find the part number for this, because it's not like, see, all these bits, when you take them apart, underneath there's a number printed on the back, so you can get these bits quite easily. I guess if you googled Morphy Richards steam iron, it's having the right terminology. What you're going to call it? Steam hose? I don't know. But it's not a matter of changing the part. It's getting hold of a new one. If you've had one that they've sent you a new one because you've had a problem. Now, as I said to someone the other day, that the lady said, I think it was a lady or a man, was saying that steam iron won't work unless she holds this at the right angle. Now, it won't be a steam pipe which is gone, it will be this cable, I expect. She's either got a loose connection or it's chafed through. But if you can take that out, check all these connections are tight. She might well cure that problem. But I imagine this piece all comes as one bit. So I'm just going to change that out now, put it back together. This was just a video for the lady to show her what's inside here, what to check. So with that one, the problem is not likely to be at this end. I would imagine the problem is going to be at this end, because this is the bit that's moving all the time. You see, because you've got that flex, because that is moving backwards and forwards all the time, you might get a broken wire in here, or one of the wires at the bottom where that goes down the back has come out. But as I've found before, that the cables that go down to that switch, they chafe through in here, because that was moving up and down on it. Let me just pop that out of there. Yeah, see those two white wires there? They're very vulnerable with where this is moving, because that's quite sharp, that plastic edge, and that switch, where those white wires are up against the bottom of that plastic bit, when this is moving, if it's pulling those wires up and down, it just chafes on the bottom of there. So things to check those wires, if there's any bare flex, and you might have to take this apart, strip that insulation back, see if there's any broken wires in there, re-insulate it. Obviously make sure your iron's unplugged. I know that plug looks like it's near the plug, but it's just falling off the table. But with anything, these things, make sure you put it back together, make sure the connections are done up tight. I'm not an electrician. It's not much of a video, but it shows you what's inside these irons and how rubbish they are, because I've had 10,000 hits on my couple of videos I've done. The one that's been on the longest, I think, about descaling problems. But that one there, this is the iron we've been using completely on deionized RO reverse osmosis water. And if you can look at those tubes in there, there's no, might be a tiny bit in that one. But if you look at the iron that we were using, which I've already cleaned out with vinegar, you can see that's choked up with calcium. Anyway, I'll sign off. The video's too long already. Any questions, just ping me a message. Like it if you like, and subscribe and watch all my other rubbish videos. Okay, bye.